The project we are looking at is located in the Najd region of Saudi Arabia, which is known to be a very hot and dry desert. The site we have selected is in Mohammedia district of the capital city of Riyadh. And as you can see, the villas are located within the close proximity of a hospital, a mosque, and a school, and a mall. The main facade of the house is facing southwest, whereas the main facade of the mall is actually facing southeast. Now, looking at the building analysis of both the buildings, it can be seen that both the buildings are constructed with concrete and glass, but we fail to see any of the sustainable techniques that can be used to minimize the solar heat gain, such as the passive solar energy techniques. Hence, the idea is to use these techniques to make a sustainable dwelling for the low-income people. The concept that we have chosen is biophilia, because it says perfectly with the concept of sustainability. Since biophilic design works with the natural elements like water, air, earth, wind, plants, hence neutral colors will be used to make it agree with the concept. As for the flooring, the ceramic tiles will be used as they have high thermal capacity, and the natural stone, again, but they have a high thermal capacity. And for the roof, the clay tiles will be used since they are really good conductors of heat. And a geodesic dome or a parametric ceiling is planned for the mall. As for the walls are going to be constructed out of the adobe bricks with the cladding of the terracotta tiles. Then there are going to be the biophilic or the green walls located to minimize the heat gain, and also the mashrabia will be used as the shading devices. This is the site plan which has been proposed, and as you can see, it's just a 3D. It's a proposed plan. It's an upcoming real estate, and the houses that you will notice that are made, or the villas that have been constructed here, are majority of them do not use. In fact, none of them are using any of the solar passive techniques to minimize the solar heat gain. Now, looking at one of the techniques that we are using, the wind tower. The air will enter through the wind tower where the air dampers are going to stop it from leaving from the other side. The water sprinklers, which are collecting water from the bottom pit of the wind tower, will be sprinkling water onto the clay conduits. So then when the air passes through the clay conduits, it's going to be colder. And then the wind tower is going to be divided into different chambers at the basement, the ground floor, and the first floor, through which the air will be moving through one chamber to the other. When it reaches to the sides, the corners, it's going to escape through the air registers located in different rooms of the house. As you can see, this one is escaping into the kitchen. Similarly, there are going to be other air registers into the different other rooms to keep them cool in the summer. The other techniques that have been used to minimize the solar heat gain is, first of all, the courtyard. The open courtyard is actually connecting the two sides of the villa, which have been divided so that two families can dwell into it. And then there's the water reservoir at the base or in the basement, which will also help in keeping the apartment or the villa cool during the daytime. The water reservoir is actually connected to the main source of the water, which is then divided into three. The first one is actually connected to the water motor, which is located right under the wind tower to provide it with the water sprinkler. And then the next one is actually connected to the other two pipes, one of them which is leading to the bathroom, and the other one, the one that I've indicated with the blue, which is leading to the kitchen. Once the water will reach into the kitchen sink, the used water will then be drained into another pipe. Well, this pipe is not going to be connected to the sewage. Instead, this pipe is actually going to be connected to the grey water system. The purpose of the grey water system is actually to clean up the water, or recycle the used water, which is not really dirty, and then redirect it to the different parts of the house. In this case, once the water is going to reach to the grey water system, the aqua use 2, it's going to be recycled from one of the chambers and then move on to the next chambers. As you can see, there will be 2 chambers here. One is with the filter, the first one. It's going to filter out all the sediments and then send out the water to the next tank, from where it will be sent out to 2 different directions. This pipe is also divided into 2. The first pipe actually goes to the flush system of the toilet, and the second one is leading to the irrigation system located in the central courtyard of the villa. The other elements that we see over here that we are using is the central courtyard, which again provides us with the evaporative cooling system, and the plants, which also helps out with the fresh air in the house, and then a lot of openings that can also help with the passage of the air and with the passage of the cool air. Then the materials that are used in the house, like for example the ceramic tiles, which are being used to keep the floor cold at all times, since it has high thermal capacity. The furniture and the furnishings used, for example, the sofas will be of the wool, and the other furniture, like for example wicker and wood, is used. Another factor that we'll see in the house is the use of mashrabias. Mashrabias are actually used in the east and the west in order to prevent the sun from coming in, but at the same time providing with the light and ventilation. The windows located on the east and south are also provided with the louvers, so that the light is admitted, but the sunlight is actually but the heat is kept at bay. The bedrooms are provided with the double glazed windows, but at the same time, this one is provided with the clerestory window for the admittance of light. The bathrooms and the services are located in the east and the west, since the services are the ones that are used the less in the house, and they're also provided with the exhaust fans and the windows in order to remove the odor. Even the balconies are provided with the biophilic walls in order to stop the sun from pouring into the house and heating it up. Coming to the wall, the mall is also having a front with the pool, and then it has the biophilic walls on either side of it once you enter into it, and the parametric roof is actually pouring the water to the center pool, which is located in the basement. Once the water is collected into the pool, it then goes from the pipe into the sub-basement, which is also the car park, into the pump room. The pump room is actually provided with the recycler. Once the water comes into the pump room, it goes into the recycler, where it is cleaned out and then sent out into 2 different pipes. The overflow of the water is sent to the irrigation system within the mall, whereas the other water is then sent back to the water tank, which is then directly connected to the pipe, which takes the water up to the parametric roof and to the oculus in the center to make it the waterfall. The oculus and the flowing water act as the passive cooling system in the mall. Looking at the elevation of the mall, you can see that there are biophilic walls, which are stopping the sun from coming in and providing the interiors with the fresh air. And at the same time, the basement and the sub-basement is used for the facilities like cinema houses, the adaptive performance halls, the workshops, basically all the places that do not require direct sunlight or sunlight, or the sunlight, or too much light, so to speak. As for the ones that are located above the ground, they are provided with double glazed glass in most of the places, and then they're provided with mashrabias to block out the sunlight on the east and the west. As for the north and the south, the glass is being kept clear so that the light can pour in, especially during the winters, because the winters are cold. And as for the parametric roof at the top, it is also going to be provided with a filter so that the dust cannot enter. There are a total of 8 wind catchers to provide the wall with the fresh air at all times.